Hi everyone, it's Casper. Welcome to part 2 of my quarantine experience. If you have yet to watch part 1, you can select the card on the upper right hand corner of your screen right now or click the link in the description box. Part 1 covers the start of the quarantine process, from being notified to getting swabbed and a tour of my room. So go check it out if you haven't. Give this video a like and remember to subscribe. Let's get started. Then not long after I started to unpack, my doorbell rang, and there was 2 staff members who were there to put on the electronic tracking wristband for me. So someone came in to put on the tracing wristband for me. Here's what it looks like. It's the packaging that comes in, and this is the That's what the wristband looks like. It's waterproof. You can shower with it. He was in and out of the room in less than 2 minutes. It was explained to me that I am not allowed to take off the wristband by my own self. Remember the Homer app that I had to download at the start to submit temperature reports and symptom monitoring? It actually actively tracks my location via GPS so that I do not deviate from the quarantine location. And then the wristband is the passive method whereby at the base station would sound an alarm if I were to go out of range. And then part of the surveillance also includes me having to submit my temperature and symptom monitoring reports twice a day. And this is how it goes. When it's time to submit a report, I take my temperature with a digital thermometer. After I take my temperature, I open up the app. I have to take a selfie, answer my temperature, whether I have any of the listed symptoms, and submit. Easy peasy. We get our meals delivered to our door 3 times a day, and I was asked during check-in whether I was a vegetarian or whether I had any food allergies. Thankfully, the answer to both questions is no. I'm also not a picky eater, so I didn't have to lower or raise any expectations. I did have one dietary concern though, is that I'm a big eater. I'm a big guy, and whether with the meal times, I would feel satiated. So I did pack a few tins of tuna just in case. Since I also have the habit of snacking or having a light supper at night, I packed a box of my favorite granola and a box of UHT milk to go with it. Food delivery is allowed. You can order your own food in. Anything delivered to me was placed outside my room, and the hotel staff will knock on my door or ring my doorbell to inform me about it. My doorbell rang. I think that's someone sent me something else, so let's go take a look. What is it at the door? Oh. It's bubble tea. Ah. This is also the part where I would like to thank all my friends and family who sent me food and drinks during that period. It really brought me a lot of joy, a lot of love. I was really delighted. Thank you. So cheesy, my god. I love you all so much. Next point we need to talk about is the communication channels, because during this whole process there'll be a lot of people calling you, texting you. For one, the contact tracing center. They called me on my mobile phone. Next is the coordination center for the quarantine process and operates a hotline regarding quarantine issues. If you have any questions about the quarantine process, this is the hotline to call. You will be given a number by the contact tracing center. The personnel issuing swab tests and conveying people are always in the go, so they will be contacting you through mobile numbers. You will be receiving calls or text messages from these unknown numbers, so please answer unknown numbers during this period. When in the hotel will get in touch with you through the hotel room phone. You will receive one call daily specifically asking for your well-being. This is very important. If you are feeling stressed in the confined environment or need any help with the situation, you can tell them this is a time to do so. There are avenues to help you with your mental health, and you just need to let them know if you need it. It's okay to tell them. The official communication of my quarantine order was actually received via SMS. Both the start and end of my quarantine order was received via SMS. I also received my polymerase chain reaction test result via SMS. So make sure you can receive SMS on your phone. Man, I sound talk so much in my videos here. But I had to bounce from the cafe because it was getting crowded and noisy. Hope you like the view. It's from my neighborhood. So my quarantine order was rescinded within 3 days. I got a notification via SMS not long after my negative PCR test results. At this stage, the hotel will be notified about quarantine orders that are rescinded early. This is so they can notify the guest and arrange the checkout process. Because unlike regular hotel guests, we're not allowed to just pack up and go. I think it was staff from the quarantine coordination center that came to my door to let me out. They reminded me repeatedly to make sure I have all my belongings because I will not be returning to the room. As for the electronic tracking wristband, I had to pack up the base station, put it back in the packaging and return it to them. When I reached the exit, the security guard verified my details against a list that he had, and then he cut my wristband, and then it was freedom. At that point, to be honest, I felt like I was kicked to the curb. I suddenly found myself curbside with all my belongings and having to find my way home myself, as compared to when I was picked up and sent there. So yeah, that was my experience from being quarantined for being near a positive COVID-19 case. It's slightly different from the quarantine process of those that came in from another country. I hope this video gives you a clearer picture of what happens and what goes on. Otherwise, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will try and answer them. I have to admit that this video would have been more convincing if I filmed it in my hotel room itself. I did spend time writing and planning how to shoot this video, and I was going to execute it the next day, but the next day was when I had to go. So unfortunately, I did not have time to do all that. But oh well, I was happy to regain freedom. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give a like and subscribe. Remember to leave a comment if you would like to see a video about what to pack for quarantine. And thank you for watching. Stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.